In today's video, you'll see places that are as beautiful as they are deadly. Some places are dangerous for a moment, others never let the danger go. In a previous journey, we explored 5 places where nature makes survival uncertain. This time, we're going deeper. These are 5 places where danger doesn't fade, it stays. Welcome to Nomad's Echoes, where forgotten stories, ancient traditions, and the hidden power of our planet come to light. At first glance, the Sundarbans don't look threatening. A vast maze of rivers and narrow channels, mangrove trees rising directly from the water, mudflats stretching into the distance, half covered by mist. From above, it feels calm, almost slow, but nothing here is empty. The Sundarbans is the largest mangrove forest on Earth, spread across India and Bangladesh. It's a place where land and water constantly shift, where paths disappear with the tide and return hours later as something else. For generations, fishermen have navigated these waters in small wooden boats, moving slowly between the roots and shadows. They know the rules: never trail your hand in the water, never step onto the banks without looking twice, never assume you are alone, because this is the domain of the saltwater crocodile. These rivers are home to some of the largest crocodiles on the planet, perfectly camouflaged, almost invisible. Locals say the water here has eyes. Stories speak of fishermen pulled from boats without a sound. No splash, no struggle. Just an empty vessel drifting back with the tide. But crocodiles are only part of the fear. The Sundarbans is also famous for something even more unsettling: tigers that swim. Unlike most big cats, Sundarbans tigers regularly cross wide river channels, moving silently between islands. For decades, locals believed these tigers were not ordinary animals, but spirits, guardians of the forest that punished those who entered without respect. Some villages placed masks on the backs of their heads, believing tigers only attacked from behind. Others whispered prayers before entering the forest, asking permission from the land itself. Whether legend or coincidence, attacks were frequent. Today, disappearances still happen. Sometimes a body is found, often nothing is. In the Sundarbans, danger doesn't rush, it doesn't roar. It waits beneath brown water and tangled roots, watching for the smallest mistake. And while the Sundarbans hides its predators beneath water and shadow, there are places where danger walks openly across the land, massive, silent, and impossible to ignore. The South Luangwa Valley in Zambia is wide open, endless savanna stretching to the horizon, dry grasslands broken by a single slow-moving river, elephants crossing calmly, lions resting in the shade. At first glance, it looks peaceful, balanced, almost cinematic. But this is one of the most dangerous wildlife regions in Africa. The Luangwa River cuts through the valley like a lifeline and a trap. Its banks are crowded with hippos, the animal responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any predator. Hippos look calm, almost lazy. They are neither. They are highly territorial, incredibly fast, and violently aggressive when disturbed. They attack boats, they charge without warning, they kill without hesitation. At night, they leave the river and move silently through the grass, sometimes straight through human camps. Local stories speak of people waking up to footsteps outside their tents, followed by complete silence. And hippos are not alone. Crocodiles line the riverbanks perfectly still, their eyes just above the surface. Lions hunt close to villages drawn by livestock and movement. Elephants, when threatened, can flatten entire structures in seconds. In South Luangwa, there is no safe ground. Land is dangerous, water is dangerous, darkness is worse. For the local communities, survival depends on reading signs most visitors never notice. The direction of the wind, the silence of birds, the sudden absence of insects. Here, humans don't control the landscape. They negotiate with it every single day. Some places make danger visible. Massive bodies, heavy footsteps, shadows moving through tall grass. Others hide it beneath colours so beautiful you forget to be careful. From the air, the Great Barrier Reef looks unreal. Vast stretches of turquoise water, coral patterns visible through crystal clear sea, islands surrounded by glowing blues and greens. It feels like a place designed to be admired, not feared. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. Beneath the surface of the reef lives one of the highest concentrations of venomous marine life on Earth. Creatures that don't chase, don't warn, don't need to. The stonefish lies perfectly still on the ocean floor, blending into coral and rock so precisely that even experienced divers miss it. One step is enough. Its venom causes unbearable pain, paralysis, and in severe cases, death. Cone snails hide among shells and sand, beautiful and harmless looking. But they carry a venom so powerful it can stop breathing within minutes. There is no antivenom. Even the smallest movements can be fatal. The blue-ringed octopus flashes electric colours only when threatened. A final warning most people never recognise in time. Its venom shuts down the nervous system, leaving victims conscious but unable to breathe. For Aboriginal coastal communities, the reef was never just a place of beauty. It was a living system that demanded knowledge and restraint. Certain areas were avoided. Certain creatures were never touched. Bright colours were understood not as decoration, but as signals. Stories speak of the sea punishing arrogance, of divers who ignored signs and never returned, of shells collected as souvenirs that brought sickness and death back to shore. In the Great Barrier Reef, danger doesn't look dark or violent. It looks vibrant, inviting, alive. And that beauty is the disguise. Not all dangerous places overwhelm the senses with colour and light. Some appear calm, flat, almost empty, until the water itself becomes the threat. From above, the Okavango Delta in Botswana looks calm. A vast mosaic of shallow channels, reed beds, and small islands. Water spreading slowly across the land, reflecting the sky. No waves, no cliffs, no obvious danger. It feels peaceful, almost gentle. But the Okavango is one of the deadliest places in Africa. This is one of the few inland deltas in the world. A place where water doesn't flow into the sea, but disappears into the land itself. And with that water comes life, a lot of it. The channels are crowded with hippos, massive, territorial, and responsible for more human deaths in Africa than lions or crocodiles. From a distance they barely move, just dark shapes breaking the surface. But approach too closely, and they charge boats without warning, capsizing them in seconds. Below the surface, crocodiles wait, perfectly still, eyes and nostrils just above the waterline. Local guides tell stories of canoes drifting back empty. No blood, no signs of struggle, just silence. For the communities living around the delta, water is never neutral. There are channels you don't cross at dusk, islands you don't camp on, places where elders say the river has taken enough lives already. Some legends describe the delta as a living entity, a shifting maze that decides who is allowed to pass through and who is not. People who ignore these warnings are said to lose the river, wandering into dead ends or dangerous waters that were not there before. Scientifically, it's easy to explain. Poor visibility, dense wildlife, constantly changing channels. But when you're alone in a narrow Mokoro canoe, reeds closing in on both sides, water moving silently beneath you, explanations don't matter. In the Okavango Delta, the danger isn't hidden. It surrounds you, and once you're in the water, it decides the outcome. Some places test you slowly, with patience and silence. Others offer no second chances at all. And finally, we arrive at a place where danger isn't hidden in legends or rare encounters, it's woven into everyday life. At the mouth of the Amazon River, where fresh water meets the Atlantic, lies one of the most extreme environments in South America, Ilha de Marajo. From above, the island looks endless, flooded forests, vast wetlands stretching to the horizon, villages surrounded by water for months at a time. During the rainy season, much of Marajo disappears beneath rising rivers. The land floods, paths vanish, and the wildlife moves with the water, including the snakes. Marajo is home to a high concentration of some of the most venomous snakes in the Americas: fer-de-lance pit vipers, coral snakes, and other species perfectly adapted to flooded terrain. When the waters rise, snakes are forced into closer contact with humans, entering homes, boats, even sleeping areas. Here, snake encounters are not rare events. They are part of daily life. Local stories speak of nights when villagers wake to movement in shallow water beneath their hammocks, of snakes climbing onto boats to escape flooding ground, of bites happening indoors, not in the jungle. For generations, Marajo's inhabitants have learned to live with this reality. Children are taught early how to recognize venomous patterns. Homes are built elevated. Lights are kept low at night to avoid attracting insects and what hunts them. But alongside survival knowledge, legends persist. Some local tales describe the island as cursed by the river itself, a place where the Amazon releases its excess life. Others speak of guardian spirits that take the form of serpents, punishing those who disrespect the land or kill without reason. In these stories, snakes are not villains, they are messengers. Science explains the danger through ecology and geography, flood cycles, dense biodiversity, forced coexistence. But when venom is this common, when danger enters your home without warning, explanations don't erase fear. Ilha de Marajo is not a place humans conquered. It's a place they adapted to, or didn't survive. Here, nature doesn't attack out of malice. It simply refuses to move aside. And that's what makes Marajo one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Some of these places look like paradise, others feel ancient and untouchable, but all of them share the same truth. Nature doesn't care if we survive. These landscapes don't threaten us. They simply exist, on their own terms. If you want to keep exploring the hidden power of our planet, its dangers, its legends, and the stories written into the land itself, follow Nomad's echoes. Because some places don't just exist. They leave echoes behind.